ADHD, ODD, CPD, sensory processing, anxiety, Asperger's, depression, autism, and the list of labels for today's go on and on. My name is Bonnie Leota. I'm co-founder of Creating Champions for Life and co-author to Learn to Speak Kid, as well as Raising Healthy, Happy, Cooperative Kids. And we've done a Thomas has done over 25 years of working with children in a proactive and empowering way, and seeing children with these diagnoses completely transform their results and their outcome. When I met him in 2011, I was dealing with most of those issues in my own home. ADHD, ODD, anxiety, depression, defiant behavior. And what I've come to understand is that our children, most of our children, because you're not only one dealing with this. Millions and millions and millions of families around the world are dealing with these issues with their children and crying out for help. But I really believe that these children have an imperative message to send, and it is to send about authoritative parenting. Why do I say that? Well, because there's a direct correlation between naughty time, timeouts, and takeaways, this positive discipline movement, and the rise of the diagnosis of all of these childhood labels and disorders. And there's something that you can do about it. But first, we got to be aware you're not alone. In fact, did you know that more than 54% of our kids are being diagnosed and medicated for ADHD? Some of them as young as 1, 2, and 3 years old. Did you know that oppositional defiant disorder is relatively new to the last generation or so and expanding at an exponential rate? Did you know that the #1 cause of death for teenagers today on a global scale is suicide? How about school gun shootings? We all would like this to stop. We're looking for solutions. We're trying to focus on gun laws and things like this. But the problem is that guns aren't the ones taking themselves to the school and shooting their classmates. It's happening. It's happening on an unprecedented scale. In fact, before 1999, the only school gun shootings that you found was, a jealous boyfriend went to the school and shot the teacher or something. And it wasn't until 1999 that 25 students were left for dead, 15 more injured before the 2 school gun shooters committed suicide with their own guns. They have a message to share. And are they fulfilling their purpose? Well, I'm talking about them here today. There is something to understand about the disruptive behavior and the defiant behavior coming from our children today. And you are the one that can make a difference. Really, you're the only one that can make a difference in your child's life, because you love them more than anybody else in the world loves them. And we have a job to do, moms, dads, we have a job to do, and it is to prepare our children for the real world. Gosh, I know how it is to love our kids and to want them to be happy and to plan things like Disney. I took all my kids to Disney, spent over $10,000. One afternoon, I spent $700 dressing them all up as princesses that they swore they would be for Halloween the next year. And of course, Halloween came and they fought me on that, right? All right, so I know what it's like to be a mom and to love your kids so much and to want them to have what you never had. But kids who are taking their own lives and acting out in defiance and basically getting lost in the shuffle of labels and diagnoses are kids without definite purpose. They're lacking some direction, some purpose, some goals, some spiritual growth actually happening, because yes, we're physical beings and we need to eat to grow, to become an adult, but we also grow in our mind, we grow in our spirits, our hearts, we grow through experiences. That's what we're here for. That's what your kids are here for. So the thing that you can do to begin to change things is every single time you see your child do something that you don't like, make a master plan of something that you would like to see instead, and then teach your child step by step. This is how you hold a fork. This is how you sit in a chair at the dinner table. We sit with our hands, either on the side, one over top of the other. We sit with them on our lap, and we just sit there and we wait patiently for our dinner. This is what it looks like if you'd like to have dessert tonight or watch TV later or whatever it is that your child is asking for. Now, I need to pre-frame with you that when I say that, it's really easy to go, hey guys, would you like to go to the zoo this week? And the kids go, yay, I'd like to go to the zoo. And then you go, okay, well, if you want to go to the zoo, then I want you to clean your room and do this and do that and lay out a master plan, because that is called a bribe, right? And bribes bring about negative energy. When you have to bribe somebody to do something that you need them to do, well, you don't believe that they're going to do it on their own, or you kind of put yourself into a position where they might owe you something back in return, because kids do not see the world the same way that you and I do. They need us to step into a leadership position. They need us to teach them every single thing that we want, because kids don't understand no, don't stop it. Every time you say no to a child, nope, we don't do that. What you're saying to that child is, no, people don't do that, and you're wrong and you're bad for even thinking about it. And your child's going, oh gosh, but I'm just learning about my brand new world and I have no idea what it means to burn my hand on a burner or whatever. They don't know what it means. We have to teach them. All right. So what are we going to do? Just to sum all this up, our kids are sending us an imperative message with their negative behavior. And it's forcing us as parents to begin to look outside of the box, and thus brings creating champions for life. We teach proactive parenting and help parents create a master family plan so that the children know exactly what's expected of them, to have permission to have dessert or watch TV or get the Wi-Fi today, or all of these privileges that we've kind of given to our children for free. When we set up an environment that kind of forces them to earn these things, whether it be orange juice instead of water. Orange juice is something we don't owe. It's a privilege, and your children can make them show up. So when we set up this plan for our children, not only are you going to have more time, more peace, more love, more connected relationships with your kids are going to be put into an environment that inspires them to grow. And when our kids are inspired to grow, like, oh, now I know how to make my own juice. I'll never have to ask you again. Or, now I know what to do to be able to watch a half an hour of TV every day because it's drawn out in a master plan. Mom and dad is not in control over me. See? Yesterday, I shared a formula of creating champions for life, and it's, I am in control of my body and my actions. I am in control of my body and my actions. I can't control you. I can't control my children, nor should I. We don't own our kids. Our kids are a blessing from God. They are a gift from the higher power of the universe, and it's up to us. We have a job to do. We have some responsibility here, and that is to teach children life skills. Now, we heard from one of the dads. We had a mom sign up for a coaching program about a week or two ago, and the dad's like, gosh, it just seems like there's so much time teaching. And I'm just here to say, like, if we're not willing to teach children, if you're not willing to teach them, don't have them. They're counting on you to prepare them for how the world works. I want a cookie. Well, can any person in the whole world have a temper tantrum at the grocery store to get a free cookie? And the answer is no. And so we must teach them what it takes to go get a cookie from the grocery store. What do you have to do, Mom, Dad? You have to work a job. You have to wait 2 weeks for a paycheck. You have to make a plan to go to the grocery store. Then you buy the cookie. Then you bring the cookies home. And when the cookies are all gone, you have to repeat the process. At what point in time are we going to teach the children how the world works so that they can grow up with skills, with purpose, with direction, with a passion and a new zest for life? That's what we're doing here. If you haven't yet, please do go to learntospeakkid.com, download Raising Healthy, Happy, Cooperative Kids, and yes, actually read it. So if you downloaded it a couple days ago, open it up and read it. It is powerful information. Actually, It's been described as the most real, relevant, and powerful information to exist for parents. Also, we have a brand new ADHD and ODD support group here on Facebook. I'll put a link in the comments, and if you're open, come join us over there so we can talk about what you're going through. You can share your story. We can give you some advice. We're going to be doing some trainings in there, some secret private meetings and things like this. So you'll want to be a part of it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow here at Creating Champions for Life.